Good afternoon. I am Mrs. Court, Donald's Algebra 1 teacher. I am so glad we're able to meet today and discuss having Donald in my class. So far, it has been a pleasure having him, and I look forward to the rest of the year working with him. In our Algebra 1 class, our Algebra 1 class consists of 12 chapters. Within each chapter, there are sections that divide up all the material. At the end of each section, a homework is assigned to the students from the textbook. The students will do the homework and turn it in for a grade, as well as having a quiz between 1 to 2 times per chapter. Typically, those will get announced between 1 to 2 weeks before the quiz is, and at the end of the chapter, there will be a test given to the students to test what they have learned. In our class, the grades are consisted of 4 parts: the tests, quizzes, homework, and participation. The participation in our class is consisting of engaging in our lecture. By doing that, we answer questions that are presented to the class. For example, a question like this will show up on the PowerPoint. It'll have the question followed by 4 answer choices for the students to look at. They will be able to have time to read the problem and answer it. They will use the clicker to answer the questions. Each student has an ID on the back of the clicker that is registered to my computer. At the end of the day, I'm able to go to my computer and see what answers the students put for each question. I am able to evaluate the answers. I can see which ones they have a hard time with and which problems are easy. This is very good for Donald because I am able to see what areas he has trouble in, and I'm able to work on it with him. In this class, the goals we have for Donald is to receive a B in the class overall. To achieve this, Donald needs to make sure he completes his homework in on time, participate in the lesson by using the iClicker and being involved, to study in advance for tests. Tests will be given about 2 weeks' notice before a test. This will give Donald plenty of time to start studying for them. Taking notes in every lesson helps him study for the test. He'll have these notes to review while he's studying. Donald is given a handout that will have missing blanks throughout the lesson. Donald will be able to follow the lesson by answering the questions that are where the blanks are. This will help Donald stay focused throughout the lesson. Also, on the back will be the examples I will be using to show the class. It'll have the instructions as well as the problem, and you'll be able to put the answer there. This will be very beneficial for Donald so that when it's time for him to study or do his homework, he's able to refer back to that sheet. I will also be able to get the notes from another student that'll be very similar to the notes that are on the handout. This will help Donald review what he has learned and make sure that he's getting the correct information on his handout. Some of the future goals that we have for Donald would be to help him succeed in the following classes, whether he takes Algebra 2 classes here at the high school or classes in college. Also, turning in homework on time will help him with responsibility, knowing when things are due. The homework will help with time management. Turning in homework on time means he needs to be responsible and make sure he spaces out the time he needs to do his homework. As you can see from Donald's grades, he has turned in some homework assignments on time, but have not quite completed them, or they have turned in late and they are completed. This can hurt Donald's grade a lot. Turning in assignments late costs 10 points off every time they turn it in. If he turns it in on time and has it completed, he gets 100, which would be very good for his grade. Throughout the lecture, some of the plans that we have for him is having the handout. Since he has trouble focusing, the handout will allow him to focus on the lesson and stay with the class. He'll be able to ask questions, write side notes with the lecture. Also, the clicker will help him be engaged by answering the questions. I will be able to help him before or after school where we can review the handout, review the questions that have been asked in the class, or this will also give him an opportunity to do his homework that he has. He can work on it with my help, or he can just use this time as time to do his homework. Giving him assignments ahead of time will also help him a lot. It'll give him plenty of time to turn the assignments in. Typically, we do about 2 lectures per week, or 2 sections. There'll be sometimes a section will be divided into 2 lectures. Homework will be turned in the following day of when it is given. I give the students the day before it is due to tell them when the assignment is. I will be able to email Donald the assignments maybe on Friday or Saturday, so he'll be able to start working on them ahead of time. Also, what I'll be able to do is that in our textbooks, as you can see, there are examples with the vocabulary, as well as the problems that he'll be using for the homework. I will be able to email him a copy of this in case he forgets his textbook. He'll also have it at home. Also, this will help you very much so that you can kind of see what Donald is working on and making sure that he is up to par. Since we are a team, we need to stay together and stay communicating with each other. I think it is very important that we work together. I think from my part and your part, as well as Donald, staying on top of all of his work, getting his work turned in and having him being responsible will help him a lot in this class. If you have any more questions, please let me know and I'll be able to help you, and I look forward to talking to you soon.